The ILRC was created when Bill Hing recognized a need for legal services not only to represent immigrant clients, but also to supply legal advice to community-based organizations providing services to immigrants. To help fill this void, Bill started the Law School Immigration Clinic at Golden Gate University. Within a few years, the clinic became a nonprofit corporation adopting the name Immigrant Legal Resource Center, and expanded its mission to include engaging immigrants to become more active in civic life and influence the issues that affect them. That was 3 decades ago. Both the world and immigration policy have become increasingly complex since then.
It was during the Iranian hostage crisis when Iranians took captive certain United States citizens, and it became a huge international issue, and the United States decided to take that out on innocent Iranians who had nothing to do with the takeover there of the hostages. As reprisal, their student visas were cut off, and many repercussions for students here. At that time, there were very few nonprofit organizations doing immigrant rights work, and there was a real need for legal services. Bill was somebody who would really fight hard on behalf of immigrants' rights. I was working with the National Lawyers Guild at the time, and the Guild, and what became ILRC through Bill and other organizations, decided to file a suit against the United States government for the actions it was taking against Iranian students in this country. The case was very important because immigration in this country, I've always felt, has always been the domestic arm of U.S. foreign policy. And Bill was willing to take a stand, show leadership, get a team of lawyers together, and really take on the United States government. And the case went all the way to the United States Supreme Court, set the groundwork for eventually changing some of the policy against Iranian students in this country. And was really taking a very important political stand, saying, whatever you're doing foreign policy-wise, don't have that affect people in this country who had no responsibility for that. And Bill was willing to take that stand.
Lawyers often describe asylum cases as, in essence, being death penalty cases, because if the decision that's made is incorrect, you're essentially sending somebody back to face a situation which could result in their death. INS versus Cardoso-Fonseca is a landmark Supreme Court case that set the standard for asylum cases. Luz Cardoso-Fonseca applied for asylum based on the fact that her brother had been politically active in Nicaragua and had initially been involved with the Sandinistas, but later came to oppose them. He had been persecuted, and she believed that she was going to be harmed as well because of her family relationship and the political opinion that she was assumed to have because of her relationship to her brother. The case went to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals after losing at the trial court. My law firm represented her pro bono at the Supreme Court level. We had the help of ILRC's attorneys, Susan Lawton and Bill Hing. Our case established that a more generous standard applied to refugees. And so it is the basic structure that every asylum case must satisfy, starting from the 1980s up until today.
And MARC and other people who eventually became involved with the ILRC were very important over the years in organizing politically, in organizing around the issue of Salvadoran and Guatemalan refugees, and eventually in helping to enact what became TPS or TPS, we call in the community, NACARA, and other ameliorative efforts that resulted in really hundreds of thousands of Guatemalans and Salvadorans being able to stay in this country.
We formed Centro Bilingüe, which was a way to provide information and referral services in English and Spanish to the growing Latino population. ILRC trained about 20 volunteers from Centro Bilingüe, and we were able to serve over 1,000 people go through the amnesty process from East Palo Alto, Bellhaven, and other surrounding communities.
Comité de Padres Unidos is a non-profit organization that helps immigrants to understand the laws, to fight for the laws, and informs people about politics. Citizenship, lots of families are being separated and deported. Everybody at that time, 1988, everybody needed to know, is it possible for me to apply? Hundreds of thousands of families are in the same situation. ILRC helped us, giving us the tools, the knowledge, the trainings, all these opportunities, marvelous opportunities to know the system, to become part of the system, to be at the table with the decision makers. Leadership trainings are great. ILRC makes a difference in the lives of people that go to the group. Eric Cohen, ILRC, the attorneys, they brought us here to give us this training to know how to help people in citizenship campaigns.
Mid-'80s, we worked on amnesty, and then the early and mid-'90s, we kind of strengthened our collaboration. The ILRC and Centro Bilingüe established the Immigrant Leadership Training Program. So dozens of community members were able to go through the program. They became more skilled advocates for their needs and learned some leadership skills and were able to be more active in civic affairs in the community. And then another part was the workshops to prepare people for their citizenship application. It allowed hundreds of people to go through the process, acquire all the rights of citizenship, including the right to vote.
The Immigrant Legal Resource Center, I think, has played a key role throughout the Central Valley, especially in ensuring that the communities throughout the Central Valley had the necessary resources to do top quality naturalization assistance, and especially in rural areas where they don't have the same access to immigration attorneys.
ILRC was working on a project, off-site processing, with the leadership in San Francisco. And together they came up with a project where we would actually bring the naturalization process to the community so that people would feel comfortable, because as we all know, when you have tests, people get anxious and nervous. So if we could do those interviews in the community, and we would achieve two things. We would get the collaboration and assistance from the agencies in the preparation work, so it would make the process flow smoother for us. And for the applicant, they would be in an environment that they're very comfortable with. And ILRC actually developed a book on how to do off-site processing, and I still have a copy of that.